Hi, everyone, and welcome to This Week with Kat and Sarah, and we go deep. Today, Kat and I were just discussing, there's a variety of aspects to this, but can we be successful in life and feel good in each moment? Or do we have to motivate ourselves with negative feelings and fear? I'm not sure I encapsulated that very well. Kathleen, are you able?
Well, well, Sarah Joy, it totally makes sense to me. Let's see if I can put it into words a little differently. Yeah, we were having a discussion about, can we create and live a beautiful, successful, however anyone defines that. Can we live a successful life from a good feeling and without having to pressure ourselves, without having to use, efforting? Is it possible?
Or will we end up homeless? I mean, we laugh, but that's kind of the fear that people have, or the underlying, if I don't make myself do the hard things that I don't want to do, then I'll end up homeless. I won't be able to make money.
Well, okay, true confession. Subconsciously, or maybe even in the forefront of my thinking, I've had that exact, I've heard actually those words go through my head and had that image of a, woman who lived with all her belongings in a grocery cart that looked like me, because I didn't put enough pressure on myself and I didn't push myself hard enough. And that if I didn't do that, if I didn't keep my foot slammed down on the gas pedal, that's where I was going to end up one day.
Mm-hmm. And now we were talking about how it occurs to us that how to get what you want from life is actually by following what feels good, and following our knowing, our good feeling.
Well, Sarah Joy, I would postulate, tell me if you agree with this, like we can create both. We can create the life we want both ways. Like we can do it with the pressure and the noise in the head and the beating ourselves, or we can do it following the tickles of our soul, listening to what feels good in the now and doing that, and end up with the same life. Like that has been my lived experience. And so if I had a choice that I can accomplish the same, or arrive at the same life, have the same life, live the same life, would I rather do it with the pressure, or would I rather do it more effortlessly? Because I think both are possible. I think it's possible to do it both ways.
Yeah. It's newly occurring to me that, and you can't really know until you live out your life, and then do over, try again, do it a different way. Like some of those computer games, where you get multiple lives or whatever. But it's occurring to me that if you were living your life joyfully in a good feeling, that you would probably see, get farther is not the right words, but I was telling you how I was listening to a teacher, Linda Pransky, this week in a class she did a while ago, and she was talking about how if she had a client where she called it if she lost her feeling while she was with a client, or for a client. I mean, not in like a little moment, but in general, if she didn't like a client, or if she thought they were something negative, she would refer them out. And that really struck me, because it occurred to me that, yeah, if she couldn't stay with a clarity of mind, or her true feeling of who she was, then she couldn't be with that client as effectively. And so she would refer them to someone who could. But then over time, her practice would grow, would be all the more flowering and blooming, because she wouldn't be struggling to see the good in any client. Does that make sense?
Yeah, the way when you were saying that, I was thinking about life in general. Like, if we operate from clarity and love and, being aligned with our essence, and we do those things that that feeling accompanies that, then we're probably going to just keep creating more of that.
Yeah.
We're gonna go kind of like a warmer, colder game in a way. So if we keep doing the warmer stuff, there's a pretty darn good chance we're gonna get more of that. We're gonna, like, our radar's up. We see that. And so if we turn away from, if we make a conscious choice to say, no, I'm not going to play the colder game. I'm gonna refer that client in her case, then that creates space for more of the warmer ones, the ones where, so to me, I think that can apply to all of life. And again, we're not saying that, I woke up this morning saying, in this feeling that, oh yes, I'm doing whatever I want to today. And one of the things that I end up wanting to do during a little break in my day was to sit down and fire a vendor who had made 3 mistakes. And in a way, I didn't want to do it, but I was in a beautiful feeling. And I didn't get myself all wound up about, oh my gosh, this is the 3rd time, and I really wanted him to fix the 3rd mistake. And then I just realized, nope, time to move on. And gosh, so I did a hard thing, but I did it from a place of, peace and love. And probably, as I think about it, because from the moment I got up, for the first 6 or 7 hours of my day, I was just operating in that space of, peace and love and understanding. And then when I, did the dirty deed, it was from that place of, like, clarity and love. So it's not like we're gonna, what did you say, like Scooby-Doo, the live the life of the Scooby-Doo rock band,
Or more, it was more, I grew up thinking that if things felt easy, if things felt good, then you would end up like homeless, driving around in a hippie van like Scooby-Doo. For some reason, I was thinking of Shaggy, or yeah, you'd be a hippie, which in my family growing up, that was a negative thing. It's not for everyone. It's not negative for everybody, but yeah.
I think I'd like to take a year off and just get a van and be a hippie for a year.
That's what I'm saying, that as a negative consequence doesn't always fit with everyone.
Yes. No, I know what you mean, Sarah Joy.
Yeah.
Oh, I know what you mean.
Yeah, because I'd realized I was still trying to do this in a way where if 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 tasks weren't stressful or hard feeling or bad feeling, then you weren't trying hard enough. You weren't going to be successful. And I'm I'm realizing at a new depth how wrong that is, how completely 180 that is. And you may do the same actions with a different feeling. But and it was, I was also listening to Dr. Bill Pettit, who speaks about these things, and both Linda and Bill basically were talking about if they have a bad feeling, they don't do something. Now, those are kind of my summary words of what they were talking about, because it's not exactly. But yeah, it just hit me. I went, oh my goodness, how many times am I trying to do something that I'm pushing against, or I'm tired for the day, I'm done, 7 o'clock at night or whatever o'clock, and I'm like, just one more email, just one more thing, I'll push it because I'm somehow gonna, show how good I am by pushing against my tiredness. It looks so silly. So the idea that we could actually live our whole lives from a clear, beautiful, peaceful feeling and do what we want in every moment. Like a kid in a candy store feeling like, really? I can have all that? Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I have enough experience in having, moments of days or entire days or segments of time where I've lived like that. And yet my humanity pops up, and there's times when I'm tired, I'm cranky, I'm hungry and cranky, and there's a task that needs to get done. And I don't feel the luxury of sort of waiting to be in a clearer state of mind. And I just now have like an awareness of where I'm at, so that I wouldn't want to do something that was a huge, big decision, I guess. But I mean, sometimes there's just, to me, I feel like sometimes there's something that just needs to be addressed. There's a critical appointment, I can't change it. Going in tired and, fuzzy headed or whatever it is. And I just try to keep my wits about me and know that I may not show up at my best, but here I am. So I don't know, kind of, checking in with myself and seeing where I'm at. But oftentimes, more often than not, I think there's an option to reschedule or change, or when I hadn't considered that before. Nope, it's got to get done. That appointment's on the calendar. I mentioned to you, um, what if we had an appointment with a coaching client? We found out that we were tired, and we asked our client if we could reschedule it. Like, how do we know that that wouldn't be perfect for the client? That all of a sudden they would go like, but wait a minute, I wanted to talk about XYZ. Like, I have a big meeting coming up. And all of a sudden they found out how much wisdom they had, how resilient they were by us honoring we were tired and maybe we wouldn't show up with much to offer them. So yeah, just living our lives, you know, wanting to find that feeling of whatever it is for anybody, peace and love and clarity, as much of the time, more of the time. Really, I think it works out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Possibly in those moments where you find yourself needing to do something that's and you're, you're cranky or whatnot. Possibly looking for what's the best feeling I can find right now. And I've surprised myself with that a couple times, because that question takes you off the tiredness, the crankiness, the whatever, and puts you into the unknown.
Yeah.
And then fresh can come in. But yeah, what's the best feeling I can find right now? And it
Yeah.
might just be neutral.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or it might just be less cranky.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's I love that. And also it could be just, depending on the situation, like asking for help, if you're going to a meeting and, or just letting the person that you're sitting down with know, hey, yeah, I'm a human and I'm feeling a smidge cranky right now. Um, you know, bring some levity and some laughter to it. And if it's not a life and death decision, maybe you can say, hey, we might have to use a little bit more of your brain power than mine right now, but I do like that. What is, asking the question, what is the best feeling I can find? Because like you said, instead of me being locked into, oh, this is on the calendar in 5 minutes and I'm in a shitty frame of mind. Well, yeah, right now I am, but in 5 minutes, if I were to say, what's the best feeling I can find? I could surprise myself, because fresh thought and new, leading to a better feeling that can happen, in an absolute instant.
Yeah. That could be a good spot to end. We can find a good feeling in an instant.
Feels like it to me.
Yeah. That's awesome. Okay, well, thanks everyone for the We Go Deep installment this week, and join us next week to see what us gals are up to. Bye.
See you next time.